there is really no coverage right now of what's going on in Gaza. But there is a new type of bomb that's being used there. Here it is. One more time. This is a type of cluster bomb that is now being used. They want to continue the mass slaughter of these innocent people. And of course, it's not getting covered. They're trying to pretend that this is not happening. And as a result, we now see what we see. The violence continues in earnest. And the need to continue to prove, as I've often said, why if we do not band together as a consensus regarding this real revolutionary period that's happening now, well, we're in trouble. This is also why the consensus surrounding Nick Fuentes is such a dangerous moment, because as I've pointed out, I don't trust Nick. I don't trust what he's trying to push. Much like I don't trust Marjorie. But then again, I don't really trust anybody. I don't trust AOC, but that's a lot more of a transparent phony baloney if there ever was. What I do trust, sometimes they say you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And what you have to do is recognize that this is a real problem. Now, I am going to show you guys exactly what I mean by this, because Tucker Carlson sat down with Megyn Kelly, who I do not trust as far as I can throw. I think she is a real chameleon and has done an excellent job of fooling people into thinking that she is somehow on the side of populism. She's not. She's on the side of whatever corporate entity will get her the most paid money, and she'll sell herself as best as she can. So she really went to task with Tucker Carlson to try to get him to say certain things regarding Nick Fuentes, and here's how things went down.
Nick Fuentes has said a long list of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He seemed to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms, which I mean, so what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
You know, do your own interview the way that you want to do it.
Ooh. That was a double combo right there. Give it to Tucker for telling Megyn, I'm not here for you to tell me how to do my job. Megyn Kelly is as phony as a $3 bill. Period. And to do that right in front of her and in front of her audience, he's like, "Oh, I ain't taking this shit from you. I wanted to talk to him." Let me see. He's got a little bit more to say.
You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him. And go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you. I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person? I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think. And I'm committed to that. And if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my view.
And his view is a very intelligent view. And a view that I appreciate. Tucker may have had a come to Jesus moment of some kind. in the last several years, but I believe him. I think that Tucker genuinely is trying to do right by humanity. He's also very rich, so he doesn't have to do this. He's under no obligation. And I also believe that he is intelligence. He is protected by intelligence. And this is somebody who has changed probably for well over a decade. If you remember, guys, in the early stages of Trump's presidency in 2017, they were desperately trying to get him to go to war in Syria. And the understanding on most people is that Tucker made a plea on his show on Fox News to Trump not to do it. And he listened to him. And for the ever brief moment with the likes of Fareed Zakaria and Van Jones saying how Trump became the president of the United States, well, we all know that changed real fast once he decided not to do that. And Tucker Carlson was probably as responsible as anybody as to the reason why that was the case. He has more to say.
Idea is not only being challenged in our country, it's being disregarded. It's disregarded in DEI, it's disregarded in affirmative action. Identity politics is a refutation of that idea. We are awarding some people something because of how they were born and hurting others for the same reason. That is anti-Western, it's evil, and it leads, in the end, inexorably to genocide. That is the root idea behind what happened in Europe in the 40s under the Nazis. It's the root idea behind what happened in Rwanda in 1994. It's the root idea, just saying, behind what's happening in Gaza right now.
He's not letting up. And what I find so interesting about this moment, ladies and gentlemen, is that these individuals would normally be regarded as part of the GOP or the conservative part of politics. And the conservatives are the ones in power right now. And normally, you would think that it would be the opposition party that would be the loudest against what's going on. The loudest voices against what's going on are Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie, with a few others sprinkled in like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. Bernie can't get his words right, even though he was the first senator to come out and say it's a genocide. Took him long enough. I cannot say enough about how sometimes the only way that real change happens, especially in our system, is when you have class traders. And Tucker Carlson is being a class trader right now. He's made a lot of enemies. And they are coming at him with everything they have. And Eric brings up a great point from Rumble. Conservatives are not in power. The uniparty is in charge. That is for damn sure. I'll give you that one. If somebody like Thomas Massie was in charge, then you can say a conservative legitimately is in charge. But that's not where we are. He has more to say.
Where it's like, we're going to kill the kids too. We don't care. And we're going to, by the way, move everyone out because they're a people that is fundamentally opposed to us. Yeah, well, I'm not for that. Sorry, because that's not the Western understanding of justice. We punish the guilty alone. We do not punish the innocent. Period. And that's not racism. And in fact, it's the answer to racism. It's the answer to anti-Semitism. It's why anti-Semitism is wrong. It's why racism is wrong. No, you're not better than me. No, you're not worse than me because of how you were born. You're the same as me because we were both created by God. Period. So the whole idea of thinking of people as members of tribes, any tribe, including my tribe, is prima facie immoral. And yet, it is the operating idea behind so much of our politics. And I reject it. I reject it when it manifests as anti-Semitism. I reject it when it manifests as anti-white racism, which has been pretty common. I know we're not supposed to say it, but it's real. But I'm not mad about that just because my kids are white, which they are. I'm mad about that because the idea is immoral, it's anti-Christian, and that is the destruction of the West. And so when I see these people like, we're defending Western, when Mark Levin's like, we're defending Western civilization, or Randy Fine, who's like, yeah, we just have to kill every Palestinian because they're Palestinian so we can defend Western civilization. I'm like, no. You are the enemy of Western civilization.
Period. They are the enemy of Western civilization. The entire Zio ideology is the enemy of Western civilization. Now, of course, those at the top would say otherwise, but that's not who we are as Americans. We do deserve better. And we can put our differences aside and take our country back. And that's what we're trying to do. If we could be the country that we believe we can be, and I implore anyone out there who believes in this exceptionalism of America, we are not exceptional by any stretch. We're exceptional in the worst ways. But if you want to be Is this a new channel? No, it's not a new channel, but it also goes to show you how shadow banned we really are. Thank you for being here, Carol. We appreciate it. We cannot be afraid to say what needs to be said. That's the danger. The truth scares the people in power more than anything else. We are going to hopefully have on Randy Fine's primary challenger, Aaron Baker. If you guys are not familiar, go check him out. Tucker pointed out very saliently on this exchange, not in this clip, but during this interview, about how there's a lot of things you could say about Nick Fuentes, but there's one thing you will never have heard from him now or ever. He doesn't promote the mass killing of anybody. He may promote nationalism, white nationalism even, but he's never going to promote hurting people to that end. Now, it's still a little early in his career. He's got a ways to go. Maybe he turns a corner and gets a lot worse. But for now, his message is America first. And that's resonating with millions of people. We'll finish it out.
Because collective punishment is the enemy of Western civilization. Period.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to say, and I said it, and they called me a Nazi, and I'm like, actually, I hate the Nazis for that specific reason.
But wait,
nothing, Megyn. You're done. We don't need to hear from you. And on top of that, they are the Nazis of today, Tucker. And you just need to say it. Now, maybe he's getting ready to say it, but I don't want to speak on his behalf. If he wants to say it, he will. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say that things are changing in a very big way, in a profound way. We cannot ignore that reality.